Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is now trying to walk back what he said about the U.S. owning the Gaza Strip, and that's prime real estate, and we can take it over and build it up with hotels and this and that. Trust me, let me tell y'all something. If anything gets built up, it's going to be for the benefit of Donald Trump. It's going to be Trump hotels, Trump casinos, Trump restaurants. That's what he's planning on doing. It ain't going to be no benefit to America, but a big benefit to someone like Donald Trump. But I have a video I'm going to show you because world leaders have come out against Donald Trump on taking over Gaza and, running people out of their land. That's called ethnic cleansing. So I guess the colonizer in Donald Trump, he just can't help himself. But I'm going to play a video and I'll be right back with the rest of my commentary. Why don't you try to own your words, Donald Trump? You're supposed to be so tough.
And let's bring in Palestinian political analyst and Secretary General and co-founder of the Palestinian National Initiative, Dr. Mustafa Barghouti, for more on this. Dr. Barghouti, thank you for coming on. In 2005, you ran to become president of the Palestinian National Authority. So what's your reaction now to President Trump's comments that Palestinians should move out of Gaza and allow the U.S. to take over?
I think what President Trump suggested is not only destructive, it is criminal. He is practically, I don't know if he understands what he's doing, but he's practically advocating a war crime of ethnic cleansing of 2 million Palestinians living on their own land in Gaza, 70% of whom have already been displaced by Israel in 1948. Becoming refugees, but they are refusing to depart their country, refusing to leave their homeland. And any suggestion that they should do so will constantly and adamantly be rejected by the Palestinian people. In addition to that, this is so totally unrealistic because no other country, no Arab country will accept to be participant in a war crime of ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. This will destabilize Jordan completely. Jordan will be no more if that happens. The same applies to Egypt, which considers such an act as a very serious threat to its national security. The Saudi response was absolutely strong and unprecedented, also denying what President Trump said, that Saudi Arabia does not care about establishing a Palestinian state. I don't know who put these ideas in his head, but what he is advocating is the most serious violation of international law. It's the most serious violation of Palestinian rights and of human rights of Palestinian people. And it is a war crime in every sense of the word.
Now, you mentioned Egypt and Jordan. Trump said those countries should take in these nearly 2 million Palestinians. Both countries have already said no to that idea. Do you see any way this could be carried out?
No, of course not. This will not happen. Nobody will accept it. What Netanyahu has failed to achieve through his genocide of Gaza, through the bombardment, by throwing no less than 86,000 tons of American explosives on Gaza, what he couldn't achieve, which is ethnic cleansing, Mr. Trump will not achieve by making political threats. And the big question here, he says he talks to everybody except the people who are concerned, the Palestinian people. Did he ever talk to any Palestinian about these plans? Of course not. And this kind of behavior, in my opinion, reflects a very dangerous ignorance, not only of the history of the Palestinian people, but also of the whole geopolitical situation in the region. Let me ask you simply, What would the people of New York say if somebody comes and says, you all have to be moving now out of New York to Mexico, for instance, or to Afghanistan? I don't know. Nobody will ever think that this is even rational to even talk about it. So why, what you don't accept for Americans, how could you accept for Palestinian people who have suffered so much during the last 76 years from being ethnically cleansed, occupied by a foreign country, which is Israel, and subjected to the most terrible form of apartheid, and then war crimes? That is totally unacceptable, inhuman. I cannot believe that the president of the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world, is speaking about violating international law and committing war crimes in the 21st century. It's absolutely unacceptable.
Ladies and gentlemen, after one day of announcing a takeover of Gaza, which Donald Trump, I guess he doesn't realize taking somebody's land and moving them somewhere else, that's ethnic cleansing. I guess he doesn't know anything about that, huh? And number two, how would he like if somebody from Gaza came and took over Mar-a-Lago and put him somewhere else? You know, I guess once a colonizer, always a colonizer. So, anyway, he's now trying to walk back some of what he said during the press conference with Netanyahu because now world leaders are reacting. And of course, you know, you got the people over there that say they're not leaving their land. Well, Trump officials are now saying they are walking back elements of what Trump said yesterday when he said to take over Gaza because that's prime real estate out there and drive out the remaining Palestinian population. Now, they're saying it's about 2 million people over there. Now, do I care? No. And I will tell you why I'm telling you this story. I'm telling you this story because the Palestinians over on TikTok were dragging the Black creators that once supported them. And they turned on them real quick. They were the biggest ones on the soapbox telling everybody to vote for Jill Stein. And they voted for, many of them still voted for Donald Trump. But don't vote for Kamala. Okay, so you did those things. Donald Trump is now the sitting president, and Jill Stein had zero chance of winning, by the way. So Donald Trump is the sitting president, and he is trying to move the rest of you out of there to take it over. Sometimes it just don't pay to mess with us. I'm just saying. So if you want any inkling of what Donald Trump will do to a population, just look at what he's doing over here with all of those executive orders. Does it look like he cares about even his own people here? Look at everything he's done. See, he's not just hurting a certain demographic of people, he's even hurting the people that voted for him. See, regardless to the fact that they think they're sticking it to other people, especially us, MAGA, you got to pay the same high prices out here as we do. And if you work for the federal government, you run the risk of losing your job just like anyone else. So, you know, you may not want to cheer so loud because Donald Trump's executive order is coming for you. So all of a sudden, now that the world is responding negatively to Donald Trump, they are now dragging him, and he's now trying to walk back what he said. You know, that You didn't hear what you thought you heard me say, you know, that thing. Don't believe your ears, but believe what my non-existent lips are saying to you. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So now they're saying that, you know, Gaza and driving out the population is not what the US troops are committed to doing, and clearing a territory and relocating people and all that stuff. So now they're saying, well, if they do that, it'll just be temporary. We know that's BS. If Donald Trump had his way, he would go over there, clear that area out, and when those folks attempt to go back in there, he ain't gonna let them back in there. You would have to be a fool to believe Donald Trump. Why don't you just look at all of the campaign promises that he's already broken? That'll give you some kind of idea of what this 34 convicted felon will do to you. I'm just telling you the truth. So, less than 24 hours after Trump floated the plan, they are now trying to soften what he said. Now, how the hell do you soften what he said? And at the same time, y'all, you know, Marco Rubio went to Guatemala, and he proposed sending U.S. prisoners to prisons in Guatemala. Now, y'all know as well as I do, we know who's going to end up there. They're going to send the black inmates over there. That's what they're going to do. So, and I don't know why a country needs to transport prisoners to other countries. I can see maybe if they were locked up and they were from those nations, but you're talking about doing this to people that are Americans, born and raised here in America, have generations of their family here in America. And this is what Marco Rubio spent his time doing. So, anyway, they're now trying to soften up what Donald Trump was proposing. So, um, suggesting that Trump was only proposing to clear out and rebuild Gaza. No, he said the US would own it. I watched that video. And this is Marco Rubio trying to lie for him. So you know, I already knew nobody can trust Marco Rubio's behind either, but this is what he's trying to say. Oh no, he didn't mean that we would own it. Oh, just we'll clear it out and rebuild it. No, that's not what he said, Marco Rubio. Try again. And under Donald Trump's birthright citizenship, Marco Rubio, you may have to clear out of here yourself. But let's go on. So the special envoy to the Middle East told Republican senators at a closed door luncheon that Mr. Trump doesn't want to put any US troops on the ground, and he doesn't want to spend any US dollars at all on Gaza. So they're pretty much warning Donald Trump, don't send troops in there and force people out and then build it up and refuse to let them back in. They're warning him. And the warnings literally came from all over the globe after Donald Trump made that suggestion. You know, and I don't really think all those other Arab nations, they don't want to take in these Palestinians, because you look how hard it is for them to get Egypt to open their border for these Palestinians. You know, you're putting a burden on these other countries. But, you know, when did Donald Trump ever care about that? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But the Arab world has openly rejected what Donald Trump is suggesting. They reject any attempt to displace Palestinians and annex their land. So that area you can clearly see is, you know, if you've seen some of the recent pictures, it is just nothing but a pile of rubble over there. That's all it is. So, mm, mm, mm. You know, despite all the warnings that our community have given these Latinos, the Palestinians, I guess they are all raised not to listen to somebody with melanin. Go figure, y'all. But now this is their headache. And Donald Trump is only walking it back because of the outrage. But when everybody calmed down, this plan is going to move forward. It is. Him and Netanyahu are going to have this whole thing planned out, and they will carry the whole thing out, just as Donald Trump said. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.